Happy Mother's Day. It's a good day. I want to point out a couple quick things. We'll get into the sermon. There is a photo op set up outside by Amanda. Please take a picture. Moms love that. Just do it. Share it to your social media. Let your social media people know where you were this morning. And then there are also baskets next to the table in the foyer and the photo op filled with flower seed packets. Please take them. I don't want to take these home with me. I don't have the time or the space to grow all these flowers. I don't care who you give them to. Preferably a mom, but seriously, please take those. When I was working in the restaurant, this was the day I dreaded the most. This was the hardest day to work at a restaurant, hands down. It wasn't Christmas. It wasn't New Year's. Somebody better answer that. It's okay. And it wasn't Valentine's Day. It was Mother's Day. And what inevitably would happen is we would have these rectangular tables set up, and we'd either have a large family or groups of family come. And you would have on one side, moms, on the opposite side, kids, and then a buffer no man's zone of dads. Okay? Moms on this day are enjoying a well-deserved hot meal, talking with other adults, enjoying themselves. Kids, fully aware that something's going wrong, something is amiss, blood in the water, those little sharks, understand what's happening and are taking full advantage of the situation. And then dads, bless their hearts, in way over their heads. They're trying every threatening and bribe method known to man to keep these kids under control for just this one meal. And it's complete and utter chaos. And it just kind of shows how important moms are. Now, I will give a quick shout out. Dads, you guys are great. I am a dad. We serve a purpose. But I kind of want to give you a couple examples real quick of why dads are important. A mom is such a huge role in our lives. Nobody, or most likely nobody, the number's got to be infinitesimally small, has walked into a tattoo parlor and asked for this. Doesn't happen. Hey man, I'm looking for a heart with an arrow. This is dad. But this is hands down the most recognizable tattoo, most popular tattoo on earth. And it says mom. Here's another fun one. When an athlete scores a touchdown or gets interviewed, the camera comes to them, it's never this. Hey, Dad. It's always this. Hi, Mom. Love you, Mom. Moms are so important. And maybe we get to that point in our lives when we get older where we realize, man, I owe my mom a lot. She gave a lot because being a mom is easy. Wait, there we go. Said no wise person ever. It's not easy. It's really hard. And in today's age, it's been hard to be a mom throughout history. But today there's these mental hurdles that moms have to jump through. And I kind of want to point out some of these double standards, and we'll talk about what the Bible says about honoring mothers. First, you see this, and I'm a living example of this. I get to see both sides of this. I am a dad who spends most of the daytime with my kids. I go to PTA meetings. I go to the schools and Taekwondo. So I get a window into this world. Dad brings home fast food. He's the fun dad. He's spoiling family. Mom does it. Why didn't she cook a home-cooked meal? What was she doing? Here's a fun one. You go to a park in the daytime, and you're watching your kids. I don't care what you say to me. It's boring. It's so boring to watch a kid go up a slide, down a slide, up a slide. And unless you are some sort of smitten grandparent, I'm looking at you two couple elders over there. Unless you are a smitten grandparent, it is boring to watch. So inevitably, most parents are on their phone checking on their kids, checking on them. But if my kid falls and gets hurt, me as dad, I go over there, I hear, oh, you got this, Dad? He'll be okay. But I tell you what, I've seen this happen. When mom does it, she's on a phone, you will hear other parents and other moms say this. Why weren't they watching their kid? I knew that was going to happen. They weren't paying attention. What? How is that fair? We see this a lot. There's not working dads, they're just dads. But why is it when a mom works, We call her a working mom. We live in a culture and a society where it is more and more common, it is the majority of having two-income families. Why do we put that extra title on it as working mom and make moms feel that sort of like guilt and burden for providing for their families too? And I see this all the time. I cannot go to the grocery store with kids and hear this one. Oh, hey, Dad, babysitting today? I guess so. Not really, but no one's ever said that to my wife. No one ever asked Tamara, hey, are you babysitting your own children today? The bar for being a good dad is sadly low. But the bar to be just an okay mom is ridiculously high. It's so high, and it's just sad. So let's look at the Bible. Let's read about honoring moms. We're going to start by being in Exodus. The verses are up on the screen. If you want to open your own Bible and follow along and take any notes, if there's anything I say up here worth taking a note in, or you just want to just enjoy the lesson, please, that's okay. In Exodus 20, you have Moses, and he's giving the 10 Commandments. And he says, honor your father and your mother, so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. We're told early on, this is like beginning of the Bible's instructions on how to live life, to honor your father and your mother. You will hear society and people say sometimes that the Bible is very patriarchal and that, it's all men focused. If you actually look at it though, there is not a more pro-women historical document than the Bible. Honor your mother. So let's look at 5 ways we can do that. There's a huge umbrella for honoring moms in lots of different ways we can do that. I want to start in Ezekiel in 19 and 20. I'm going to start with gratitude. Your mother was like a vine in a vineyard planted beside the waters. She bore lush fruit and foliage because of the plentiful water. And she produced mighty branches fit for rulers' scepters. You guys, this is a biblical version of happy wife, happy life. Or the reverse of, if mom's not happy, nobody's happy. We are the support for these moms. Sons, daughters, husbands, we are the support for moms, because when mom is in a successful environment, she thrives, but we thrive. There's a thing called the man flu, and I know some of you have probably been accused of it. I have been accused of it. Sawyer is a big sufferer of the man flu. And man flu is essentially when a guy gets sick, they act like they're dying. It's common. It's a thing. There's no woman equivalent of this. There's no woman flu. Life does not stop for most moms when they get sick. They're still taking kids to school, making lunches, making dinners. Heaven forbid they miss laundry day, because we all know what happens if you fall behind on laundry. You never, ever catch back up. We need to be the waters that help moms thrive. That's us. That's our role. That's how we show gratitude. How can we help? We honor our moms by taking an active role in supporting what they're doing for the family. Respect. I'm going to bounce between Proverbs and Ephesians for the last 4 ones here. In Proverbs 30, we read, the eye that mocks a father, that scorns an aged mother, will be pecked out. By the ravens of the valley will be eaten by the vultures. I have not written a book on wisdom, but I will just maybe slide this in and say, maybe don't call mothers aged. That's just a me-ism. I would not do that. But I will say, respecting your mom is just so vital to their world. It honors them in such a huge way. Moms, when they have these infants, they nurse them, they wake up all hours of the night, they're changing diapers, they're mentally and physically exhausted. Well, as child grows up and becomes more independent, mom still has that love, but it comes out in the form of wisdom. It comes out in the form of how can I make my family, my children, successful? When we don't respect the wisdom that they're giving, what a disrespectful and awful place to be in, treating a mom who only is coming from that point, only giving you wisdom from that point of love, to just not even show them any respect when it comes to that. The next one, obey. This one was always hard for me. We're going to be in Ephesians, and Paul's actually going to quote the commandment that we read earlier. Ephesians 6, 1 through 3. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise, so that it may go well with you and that you may enjoy long life on the earth. Those commandments, some of them are incredibly heavy. I'm talking don't murder. Okay, I wasn't planning on it. Don't commit adultery. Don't lust. Don't steal. Okay, yeah. And listen to your mom and dad. Well, about that one, it's hard, but it comes with the commandment. How I've lived this long, I don't know. Because I can tell you, I struggled with this. I asked my mom if I could share a story with you guys, and my wife has been looking forward to this day for a long time for me to share this story. When I was 12, I had a little sister. She was about 4, and she was, how do I put this, incredibly annoying, just supremely annoying. She was the only girl on both sides of our family. So she was the living embodiment of a princess. And I would come home after school, and I had just one show I just loved to watch. And this was back in the day when you couldn't pause it, you couldn't record it, you couldn't watch it on Netflix and pull it up. You either watched it or you missed it. And you never knew when it was coming back on. So she comes in one day, and she goes, I want to watch TV. I haven't watched TV in all day. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'm almost done. Well, what does she do? She goes and cries to Mom. And now my mom's been dealing with her all day. She's a little tired. She says, please, can you be kind to your sister? Can you be nice to her? And I'm like, I'm almost done. So she goes, okay, Katie, just wait. Well, she waits like 1 minute and starts crying again. And so my mom goes, I've had it, just let her watch the show. So I changed it. But as I was leaving, I looked at her and I went, Katie, you better be nice to me or Mom's going to give you away like my other sister, Rosie. Right? Well, it turns out I didn't get in trouble right then because she didn't tell on me. But what had happened was my mom and her joined a Girl Scout troop. A few months later, a brand new one, my mom knew nobody. 30 parents, 30 kids, a bunch of people. And everyone's introducing themselves, and my mom stands up and goes, hi, I'm Carrie. This is my daughter, Katie. I have a husband, Lee, and 2 boys, Tyler and David. And Katie goes, well, and Rosie. And my mom goes, who's Rosie? Well, Katie told her, and everyone else. You know, the daughter you gave away. And so my mom is trying to damage control this. No, that didn't happen. Well, needless to say, I did not obey my mom in the moment. And while I did not suffer the consequences from disobeying her right then, there was a consequence later, I can tell you that. When we don't obey our parents, we have maybe not an immediate consequence, but it almost always comes back to bite us in the butt. We get that justice, or moms know. Moms know. We have to obey them. Moms need praise. Tamara and I are different in a lot of ways. I don't receive compliments well. I appreciate all the you guys have been so supportive, and I appreciate all that, but I don't know what to say in the moment. I kind of just like, oh, yeah, great, thank you. No, thank you for doing a sermon or something. And I don't want to paint my wife as vain. That's not what I'm saying. My wife loves words of affirmation. She wants to hear, hey, you're doing a good job. In Proverbs 31, we get this laundry list of great qualities of an honorable woman. And at the end, there's this just sweet verse 29 in Proverbs 31. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. What a great thing to say to somebody. What mom doesn't want to hear, hey, mom, there's a lot of cool moms, but you're the coolest. Hey, mom, I know that there's some awesome moms that do a lot of things, but you are the best. You're my favorite. Love you, Mom. I know you're going to be watching this later. I had to do that, sorry. They need to hear that. There's gratitude and showing gratitude, and that's the physical, let me help, let me get in there. And then there's just the affirmation, the love, the verbalizing what it is you love so much about. Moms, they need to hear that you honor them when you do that for them. And then lastly, we have to forgive. In Ephesians 4:32, Paul writes, "Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you." My mom is awesome, but only one perfect person ever lived, and it wasn't my mom. I have to forgive her because the hardest person on moms are moms. My mom still apologizes for things that happened so long ago. We need to be forgiving of our parents because they're children of God just like we are. We honor them when we show them forgiveness for the things that they might have made a mistake on. And as always, we want to look at Jesus. What did Jesus do to honor Mary? And in John, when Jesus is on the cross, he's being crucified. He is taking on the sins of all of humanity. And not just all of humanity, his own mother. He's taking on her sins as well. He stops and gives her the time and focus to honor her. In John 19:26-27, we read, "When Jesus saw his mother there and the disciple whom he loved standing nearby, he said to her, 'Woman, here is your son,' and to the disciple, 'Here is your mother.' From that time on, the disciple took her into his home." Jesus showed the example that no matter what you're going through, honoring your mother is so important. Showing them love and honor is paramount. We have to be doing it no matter what's going on in our life. We have no excuse. If Jesus can do it on the cross, we can do it on one of our bad days. When we honor moms, we honor God. By honoring mothers, we show the love of Christ. In just a second, Jay's going to get up and lead one more song, and then Brother Mark is going to lead us in prayer, and you guys can go and celebrate moms. As always, we want to extend the invitation. If you're looking to learn how to honor God, how to have Jesus in your life, come talk to us. Come talk to any one of us that you've seen up here, anyone sitting. We would love nothing more than, even on Mother's Day, to spend some time with you. Let's stand and sing.